Welcome to another episode of the Red Arrow Health and Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Marco, with my very nicely dressed for a weekend co-host,
Jessica.
Way to not look like a slob like me today.
Your parents came over?
Yeah, I know.
I don't need to look like a bum. No.
Anyway.
All of that exercise wear is a little bit too form-fitting right now.
Okay.
So, no.
Well, it's been a while since we've done one of these.
Indeed.
We took a little break. We went on an adventure. We're going to talk about that not in this episode. We've got that scoped out for the near future. Mm-hmm. We'll get everybody caught up on all that we did there. But we've got some time-sensitive material we got to put out. So we'll be doing that in this episode. But before we get into all that, Jessica, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Tiki Bellini.
A Tiki Bellini?
Uh-huh.
We should have taken a picture so we could do it for Tiki Tuesday with all the other cocktails we put out.
We'll just have to do it again. That will be very tragic.
Is it a relatively low-carb Bellini?
I don't think it is. I don't know. How many carbs are in that Prosecco?
I don't know, but I mean, relative to other ones, you didn't use orange juice.
I did not. So
that
I guess
cuts down the carbs.
Yeah, I guess it is okay. So in my Tiki Bellini, I have 1 ounce of white rum. That's what makes it tiki.
Along with the fruit juice.
2 ounces of Prosecco. We're using the cupcake kind, which is delightful because it's in a tiny bottle.
Right, because you and I are not going to pound an entire bottle of Prosecco, so these little tiny bottles
They're perfect.
are perfect.
Yep. And then we topped it. We poured it into the little champagne flutes, and then we topped it off with a orange mango sparkling ice. So yeah.
0 sugar on those.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it is a lower carb option as compared to like a traditional Bellini, but it does still have some carbs in there. So.
In our sparkling ice or cupcake Prosecco or, well, it was actually Bacardi white rum. Any of those things sponsoring us, comping us, anything?
No.
Nope. That's just
okay.
what was in the kitchen and in the fridge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you have over there?
I have a gift, a hockey gift.
Ooh.
This was from Sexy Rexy, the goalie. Before he headed out on his summer vacation, he came running into my locker room, and we were actually playing each other that night, and handed it to me and just said, thank you for being the ringleader for the circus that is adult hockey.
That's super nice.
Keeping it going. It was very nice. So he gave me a bottle of Irish whiskey. This is Happeny. I don't know. I have a hard time when they put apostrophes in the middle of words. HAPPENNY. Happeny. Whatever. Irish whiskey.
Yay.
Non-chilled, filtered. A truly superior Irish whiskey, all caps. Expertly crafted and blended, matured to perfection. Blah. I haven't even had a sip yet this morning.
You have not.
Because it is
maybe not enough
technically
coffee,
morning.
though.
I've had plenty of coffee. As original and unforgettable as the city that inspired it. Bringing people together since 1816. Expertly crafted and mature. Yes, I am just reading the bottle.
Yeah.
Carefully crafted, distilled in small batches.
Okay.
Mellowed and matured, 4 times finished. Superior Irish, non-chill, filtered whiskey.
You sound like a commercial.
Well, because I'm reading the bottle. So here's the thing. 4 times casted. Casted? Cast. Port pipe malt. Sherry butt grain. I don't know what a butt grain is.
Don't tell kid number 3 that it exists.
Any of the children. Bourbon barrel malt and double charred grain. And this is produced in Dublin, Ireland on James Street, for those who care, and imported to Lexington, Kentucky.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Are we sponsored by Happeny?
No, but I just wanted to read it off because, Sexy Rexy put some time into picking it out, and I have actually gotten into this bottle already. I do enjoy this. This is a nice one. Yes. Cheers to you.
To me. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you. Cheers to Sexy Rexy. Cheers.
Whoa. That was almost a disaster.
That is nice.
This is good.
Well, you're sipping on your double fisting Bellinis.
Yeah, I made 2.
Well, because we had that little bottle, and, better than doing refills and pausing it partway through. Mm-hmm. How was your week?
It was good. I didn't have to work on Monday.
Did you get beat up? Did you get bit? Did you get slapped? Did you get things thrown at you?
I get bit this week. I just don't think I did. I for sure got slapped a couple times, though, because that comes with the job.
To clarify, at work, not at home.
Yeah. All the slappings happen at work. That sounds bad.
The slappings.
The slappings.
How are the slappings today?
Oops. The slappings. Anyways. No, it was a pretty good week. It was a little quiet, but that's okay. I will take a quiet week, but lots of paperwork this week, so.
And you're coming in off of vacation, so.
Yeah, had to play catch up. I hate playing catch up. I love vacation, hate playing catch up though, and they bombard me with all of the things that happen, plus all of the problems to solve, plus all of the anecdotal stories, plus whatever else.
Personal adventures, whatever, cars breaking down,
and it's just,
piercings, whatever.
Piercings. It's always a lot of information all at once, and I have to process it and figure out, like, I have to triage everything. Okay, this is an actual emergency. This is just something weird that happened. This is something I really don't need to think about. This is something that is due in 2 days. Yeah.
Life and management in a clinical field.
Yeah.
Managing 20-somethings.
It's different than just being like a home provider.
Yeah.
I only had to manage myself when I was doing that, and that was kind of nice.
Even when you were in the schools before, it was smaller teams.
Yeah, but...
And they were college students, so they were eager to please.
They were very eager to please.
Because they were paying to work instead of being paid to work.
Yes. I miss them. But they're all grown-ups now, and they've all got their master's degrees, so that's good.
A bunch of them are going to have kids and are getting married and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. We're so old.
Indeed.
Speaking of old, a new school year is starting.
Yay!
You ready?
No. Not at all.
You know, in terms of supplies or in terms of emotionally, are you not ready?
In terms of supplies, excuse me. In terms of supplies, we're ready. In terms of emotionally, I'm not so well prepared this year because kid number 4 is going to preschool for the very first time. And it's our last teeny tiny to go to preschool.
This episode's going to post, and when it does the auto drop, I will probably be packing the car to get the kids out the door. The older 3 they start a week later, so they'll be heading out the door to Taekwondo, and then kid number 4 and I will be going for meet and greet the teacher, drop off her supplies, everything, and then she starts a couple days later.
Yeah, she's so excited. It's great. I'm excited for her, but it's the last little baby we have going to school. And
before anyone suggests, there will be
no more tiny Tomasis.
4 is enough.
Yeah. We're out of bedrooms in this house.
We have enough to have a complete starting lineup of a hockey team if we get you on the ice.
No.
In theory, on paper.
No.
I can get you on the ice on paper.
Great. I can burn your paper with a match.
You could come play tomorrow. I got a pickup game going on. Kid 1 is, Kid 4 wishes. Kid 3 wishes too, but it's full ice. It's a mixture of adults and kids. Kid 1 is one of the goalies. I'm playing. Kid 2 is playing. Kid 3 is dying to go play, but I said no. His legs are a little too short for 90 minutes of full ice hockey.
We get to go in shifts, though.
Still, 90 minutes is a lot.
I guess.
Yep. It'll be fun, though.
Yeah. So how was your week?
My week was busy, pretty good. We were finishing off the last few things for getting ready for school, trying to get everything else done. Of course, everybody else with us out of town. There were a few days there where I'm going to sit down, I'm going to get everything punched out on my computer I need to get done. And then, of course, that is cue for people going shopping. And they're like, what do you think of this and this? And what size is that? I'm like, I'm trying to work. Or my dad popping over 3 times in one day. And a few times he's like, oh, I'll ring the doorbell. We have wireless doorbells that run throughout the house. So I'm way down in my office and the doorbell rings. And by the time I run upstairs, the kids are like, yeah, Grandpa was here. He just left. He didn't want to disturb you. It was
too late.
Too late. The bell went off right next to my office. And I came running up. So it was, a little hard to be in the zone, getting stuff knocked out. I really like to section things off and just go, I'm going to do this, knock it out, do this, knock it out, do this, knock it out. But it was just everybody wanted everything at the exact same moment, usually when I was doing something time sensitive. Yay.
Of course they did.
Mm-hmm. All the more reason why a nice Saturday whiskey is perfect.
Cool. I'm so excited. I ordered mixed tiles for my office. This is not an advertisement. I'm just really ridiculously excited that 1, I will finally have a whole bunch of pretty office decorations so I can match my colleague.
It would be awesome if Mixtile sponsored us or comped us and they got us to do a plug for them, but they are not. This is just you went and paid your hard-earned money for it.
I did.
Because after about a year of being at that job, you're finally putting up photos that your family exists.
Right. And my friends. And the beach. I'm so excited. So yeah, those should be here next week, and I cannot wait, especially to find out if like they actually will self-stick and continue to self-stick after I take them down and rearrange them multiple times on the wall.
And
so.
because they're not sponsoring us, if they don't stick well, and crap, we can just like be brutally honest about it too.
But hopefully they do work.
Hopefully they do
described.
too.
I'm just so excited about this. So excited. Okay.
All right, let's get into this though. It's back to school season. You and I were out and we were brainstorming.
I feel like we need to play the Adam Sandler song.
You can sing it.
Back to school. To prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
We were out back at the beginning of the month thinking of topics that we wanted to cover, and we wanted to do a back to school shopping one because people are always like, you guys are so organized. You got your together. Yeah. I'm like, look, we have 4 kids, all who are in school this year. If we don't have our together, it's going to be a hot mess.
Yep.
So this episode is going to be our top 10 tips for getting your together and getting back to school and getting those kids out the door. And then you can take all those lovely photos of you celebrating and toasting Bloody Marys in the morning or whatever as the kids look sad and they go to school. Those back to school pictures are hilarious.
Oh, they're great.
Where the parents are celebrating.
I saw one the other day where the kids are like on the sidewalk or the edge of the pool with their backpacks and their back to school outfits and their shiny new shoes.
Mom in like a flamingo floaty.
I think mom was taking the picture, but dad is jumping off the diving board and he's got his arms and his legs completely outstretched and the biggest smile ever on his face. It is so funny.
Nice. Well, tell you what, as you like going to town on that first Tiki Bellini, let's play some segue music and we'll get into it. All right, Jessica, you ready?
Ready.
Let's do this. It's kind of like the attitude for beginning of the school year. Get the kids pumped up. Come on, let's do this. Let's have an awesome year. All the joys of, look, we've already done 1 year of COVID. We got all sorts of surges, so it looks like there may or may not be masks.
Oh, I think there's going to be masks.
Our kids will be wearing masks because none of them are old enough to be vaccinated yet.
So the state that I work in is different than the one I live in. And they...
True on so many levels.
Right. They have been very relaxed. Like the state in general has been very relaxed about precautions and everything. And
hey, disclaimer out there: it's not Florida, which is there's relaxed
Florida
and then
is
there's
like show.
Yeah.
No, but everybody came into work and they were like, they just made masks mandated for all of the public schools in all of these like counties now. And I was like, what? Indiana did that? Oh my gosh.
Your clinic follows whatever the public schools are doing, right?
No, my clinic follows itself and we've been masking for a really long time now. Okay. It has been mandatory for a while.
But you guys if you're vaccinated, you got to take off your masks when the clients were out of the building.
That was the original rule, but now we are all back to wearing masks all the time.
But part of the summer you got to let your face be free and let people see
we got to see what everybody looked like finally.
You have a nose that doesn't have a piercing in it?
I do not. I'm like the only one.
It's because you're old. You're not like
Shut
22.
You know what? Even if I were 22, I would not have a nose piercing because I would constantly pick at it and be like, there's a booger on my face and I can't get it off.
The worst is when there's the stud that comes in and hooks at a 90-degree angle, so then the thing dangles down like there's a bat in the cave. And like you want to say something, but like it's like, oh.
Stop.
Okay.
I don't do boogers.
To each their own, but not a fan.
No, it's not. It's not for me. Everybody looks super cute with them. It's just not for me. Anyways, so they all went to mandated masks because they're already back to school. And then there's us over here in Michigan, and our school system is still saying, no, it's optional. No.
So here's my theory on this. Mm-hmm. Instead of having to deal with parents coming in and yelling at them in their final week of prep work, my guess, and I could be completely wrong because I don't know the dude. We got a brand new superintendent, like he just started last month. Mm-hmm. My guess is he's going to wait to the last second and then the weekend or the Friday right before school starts for the public schools, he's going to go, yeah, we're at the high level, the local health department, the CDC, everyone says we're going to have to wear masks like last year.
Yeah.
But as of right now, he's not going to require anybody, even the little kids who can't be vaccinated, wear masks. I think he's just avoiding the inevitable so they can get their work done without him like basically having a parade of parents for those last week.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'll be shocked.
That's my prediction. I could be wrong.
I will be shocked if that doesn't play out. But also he probably should take into consideration that if they're going to mandate masks, they need to give parents time to order or go to the store to buy new masks.
Yeah.
Because maybe some haven't been prepared for it.
Unless he's ordering a whole buttload of paper ones, which they did have last year as backups, and they also issued every single kid in the school system a one that was silk screened with the school logo on it.
They did?
Yeah. Of course, kid number 2 lost his the very first day.
That is not surprising at
all.
all.
But kid 1 and kid 3 still have theirs. In addition, when we were doing back to school shopping, I kind of foresaw this and saw the trends. So not only did we order a new batch of the Michigan Awesome masks that the kids love with the big state of Michigan embroidered on it, I went to a store that sells a bunch of the school supplies or the school branded stuff, and I got each of them. I'm like, okay, they've got this is the place that made all the ones that the school issued, but they have a whole bunch of other designs for your school. Pick out what color and logo you want, and so they have an extra one for their school system, so they can be all like school spirit with the mask.
Yeah. Yep.
Yay.
Enough about COVID.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, can we all?
I know we're all over COVID at this point.
Let's dive into our top 10 list. I don't foresee this being a long episode, but
we'll see.
We'll have some fun with it. All right. You have your copy in front of you?
Indeed.
Nice. What is our tip number 1 for back to school success?
Consolidate your back to school list for shopping. This is especially important if you have more than one kid, because each grade level is going to require different things and different amounts of those things.
Or if you have kids in multiple schools. So we've got one going into 7th grade in middle school. We've got a 5th grader and a 3rd grader at the same elementary school in the same school system as their older sister. And then our pre-care is over at private school because she just missed the cutoff for young 5s by less than a month.
Yeah.
So it would have been nice to have her in the same school system with the same holidays and everything, but she's over.
It's okay.
She's over at the Catholic school that the other kids went to originally. Great preschool, but so different holidays, different start date, and
it's going to be fine.
But the class lists are a hot mess.
Yeah.
So
like kid number 4, her class requires 30 glue sticks. Well, I'm sorry. They just like eat it over there. It's hilarious.
No. I think it was 32.
No, it's 30.
No, it's 32. It's 16 per semester.
Oh.
So it's 32. You could either get the pack of 30, or in our case, we just ended up getting a bunch of packs of 12, and so they're getting 36.
Yeah, okay.
They can have some extras. But some of these, it's just, you need a Sharpie. And then the next kid is like, you need a fine tip Sharpie. Or, so consolidate these things. Make it into one. We put it in one big table, one big grid. Makes it easier so you're not running all over the place. Because we did the thing where we had 3 different shopping lists. Now this year it would have been 4. Printed out in all different shapes and sizes and ordered differently. Some put the pens at the bottom. Some have it in the middle. Some have it at the top. Now it's just like pens. Pens, comma, black. This kid needs an unknown quantity. This kid needs 2. This kid needs 1. Next one, pens, blue, same thing.
Yeah.
And so when you get to the pen section, you knock out black, blue, red, Sharpies, highlighters, all that stuff. Pencils. Some need sharpened, some don't, but they have to be number 2 because school.
You have to have number 2 pencils.
And it makes your trip through, because it is a zoo. When you do all these things, it helps you just knock it out section by section so you can get away from the craziness and the parents who are shuffling through papers trying to keep the lists organized.
Right.
It's like, get away from those nuts. Just get it done.
Yeah. But how long did it take you to sit and organize all of that on Excel? Because you made an Excel file for it.
I did actually in Word.
Oh, you did in Word?
I did table in Word.
I'm shocked.
I don't know, 15 minutes or something.
Okay.
I basically just went through one list and started typing it up, and then the next one through and like, oh, this item's not on there yet. Create a new row. Mm-hmm. Okay, there you go. I actually even highlighted anyone who didn't have that item. I highlighted it or filled in the table square gray, light gray, so I didn't waste ink, but that made it easier on the eye. And then as we did it, we just checked everything off. When we were done shopping everything that we were missing, or we're like, hey, they have that at home or whatever, I just did a big circle on it so I could go back and get it later.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's our first one. Consolidate those back to school lists into one convenient location, one piece of paper, easier to get through the store, especially if you've got the kids with you.
Yep.
Number 2, Jessica.
Inventory what's still good from last year, supplies and clothes. Seriously, you need to do this because it's going to save you a boatload of money, because you're not going to be buying extra t-shirts when your kids already have 75 of them, or you're not going to be buying extra crayons when you've got leftover crayons from last year when you bought all of them because they were 25 cents a box.
Look, part of me, the dad of me, is like still kicking myself that I didn't keep my TI 30X calculator from middle school.
I have mine.
Well, I have my TI 82.
Oh no, that's the one I have.
Yeah, the
graphing
calculator.
Or the 83. I don't know.
I think you have the 83. I have the 82.
Okay, I do still have that.
I also have like the 94. Whatever.
That's because you're a super nerd.
Yeah, but if you bought we've got a middle schooler. She needed a TI 30X back in 6th grade, going to 7th grade. She needs the same thing. Don't go out and buy a new one.
Right.
It should still be good.
Same thing with scissors.
Lunch boxes.
Yeah, you can use them year after year. The scissors are not going to go bad unless your kid is really into cutting fresh glue, in which case you might need to buy some new
boxes
scissors.
might be in bad shape, but they might be in good shape. Like our middle schoolers is in pretty good shape. Actually, all of our kids, their lunch boxes did fairly well last year. But some years, it's like that thing's just disgusting and it has stuff growing in it. And
right.
Oh my God, you didn't empty it after the last full day of school and something grew all summer.
It's always a fun time.
Yeah.
Just zip that up and throw it away.
Same with clothes. Maybe they grew, maybe they didn't. In Kid 2's case, he's reusing his gym shoes because they look fairly new.
Yeah.
And his foot, he has not changed sizes. Now, I fully predict that by Christmas, we'll probably be buying him a new pair of gym shoes. But in the meantime, we might as well just get, a few more months of use of those. Now, we did get him new back to school shoes, even though he's like, mine still fit fine. I'm like, you know what? Make those your shoes for playing around at home.
Yep.
We'll get you a nice, clean, new pair for back to school. Mm-hmm. But in terms of gym shoes, yeah, just use the ones you got. Yep. Made life a lot easier. Pencil boxes. Every few years we get new pencil boxes, but every year, especially like now, there's those cheapy see-through plastic ones with a plastic hinge. That hinge wears out.
It does. Usually they're
cracks.
broken before the end of the school year.
But if you have the ones that are kind of hard, semi-hard fabric ones with the zipper, those hinges hold up very well.
You can get like 2 years out of those.
Easily.
Yeah, especially if your kid doesn't take his sharp pencil and stab holes in it. Kid number 3.
Kid number 3. Kid number 2 is pretty good about it. We have to finish cleaning out his one from last year because he did all his pencil sharpening and kept the shavings in his pencil box. So it's a hot mess, but inside. But once we clean it out and it no longer looks like the bottom of a guinea pig terrarium looking thing, it'll be good to go. And again, especially the more kids you have, the more it adds up.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Same with jackets, fall jackets, because we're in Michigan. We got 4 seasons, so while it's hot as balls out today, in about a month or so, they're going to need the light jackets and then the a little bit heavier jackets and then the winter jackets. So like in kid number 3's case, he's got this little olive drab, it looks like Air Force kind of pilot jacket.
It's so cute.
And we're looking at it like, I don't think it's going to fit in the spring, but it definitely will work for fall because it goes right to his wrists.
Okay. So,
making sure he's okay. And kid 4 needed something.
Mm-hmm.
Kid number 2 is good to go. Kid number 1 is good to go. Oh, well, but as exciting as is the inventory, what our kids have on the podcast. Step 3, Jessica. What are tip 3? Not step 3.
2 steps, then Amazon.
Look, mental health, people. Mental health. Don't be running all over town, burning gas all over the place. Go to 2 stores, make 2 stops searching for something, and if you can't find it at that point, you say, it. Go order it off of Amazon. I'm going to have to edit so much of this podcast.
So perfect example of this.
Wasabi tape or whatever it is, a washi tape, whatever it is.
The washi tape. Kid number 2 had a item on his list that was very unusual. Haven't come across this one before. He had to bring in washi tape, and I was like, cool, no problem. Every single store has tons of this in the arts and crafts section
and what
because
is
it's a big
washi
deal.
tape for people who have no idea like me?
It's craft like sticker tape.
Okay.
It's a roll of pretty sticker tape that you can stretch it out and use it to border pages.
And it's not light green and
put it in
opens your
scrapbooks.
sinuses?
No.
That'd be awesome if it does scratch and sniff.
No. So we're in Meijer because that's where we did a lot of our back to school shopping. And we were trying to find washi tape. And I was like, okay,
By the
so
way, Meijer is a grocery store that has different departments. In
Yeah.
addition, it has everything
it's sort
you
of like
need.
Walmart,
Only
but better.
Better. It's a very much a Midwest thing. It's headquartered
yeah.
out of Michigan.
Yeah. There should be a Meijer everywhere, though, in the country. That would be great.
Where are they
We
at?
really
They're
missed
like
it in
Michigan,
Florida.
Indiana, Ohio,
Maybe Illinois,
Wisconsin, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know about Wisconsin. Anyways, so I was like, okay,
Not a sponsor,
so
but man, that would be awesome if they were a sponsor this time of year.
that'd be fantastic. I know that I've seen washi tape in Meijer before, and I was like, sure, this is not going to be a problem. It will either be in the back to school section because they bring out all of the fun stationary type things for back to school time.
Yeah, they consolidated it into one little specialty section.
Right. Or if it's not there, I am positive it is in the arts and crafts area. Nope. It wasn't in any of those places. Meijer did not have any washi tape. I was shocked. And you were like, we need to Amazon it. And I was like, we are not Amazoning it because they're going to send us 57 rolls of it and we only need one. So we're going to go to Michael's.
And you went to Michael's and you found it.
I did because they have an entire wall in the back of the store of washi tape.
But if they had been sold out,
Then it would have been Amazon.
Amazon time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The key here is don't run all over town. 2 stops and they don't have it. Order it online.
Yep.
And that's just for your own. I
Same.
mean, technically it's better for the environment than wasting all that gas. But 2, your own mental health, relax, your stress level. It just makes life easier for you.
We did Amazon the magic erasers.
We did.
What do you got for your tip number 4?
Tip number 4. Now, I mentioned before that Kid 4 has a teacher meet and greet day. And actually, all our kids have that. If your school does one of these meet and greet days where you get to go in, meet the teacher, bring the kids in, it's different than
See
back
the
to
classroom.
see
so
the
they're not
classroom. It's
scared.
different than back to school night, which is usually parents only. If they have one of these days, take advantage of it as a school supply dumping because they ask for so much, and it's fine because they need a lot. But those poor little kids, especially the lower elementary and kids, it's so much for them to carry in the first day. It's like, I need 2 backpacks, 1 front, 1 back, and my leg I'm loaded down like a pack mule. And yeah, it's poor kids. Yeah, do it on this day so you can go in and you can just drop off all those things. So that when you have that first day of school, the kids have their backpack, the shoes tight. Hope they don't get in a fight.
Yep.
And they can walk in all smiley and their new kicks and everything, and not be like, all right, we're going on an expedition to the North Pole, or we're
they're
going.
not the kid that's standing at the front of the school screaming and crying, and the principal has to run over to help them because they literally cannot carry all that stuff.
Or the plastic shopping bags, because like the Kleenex boxes tend to have sharp corners, and they slice those plastic grocery bags open, and then all of a sudden, poof, there goes everything all over the sidewalk.
Right. And then the principal has to run over and help.
Take it in so you can get off and have a great experience, a great first day, a great memories made, instead of like, oh my God, it was horrible, I never want to go back.
Right.
Because then that just impedes learning, and then you drive away feeling like, yeah, just, yeah. Get off on the right foot. Jessica.
Marco.
Tip number 5.
Number 5. Adjust bedtime and wake up times gradually starting on August 1st or starting, 25 days or so before your first day of school.
Yeah. In our case, our kids go into Michigan. The 3 older ones start at the end of the month. So we got a month of working to it. And of course, we let it slide all summer. It's summer. The sun sets around here almost. It's
10 o'clock.
More like 10:30. So it's pretty late because we're on the west side of our time zone. And those bedtimes just drift and drift and drift, especially since we've got hockey going on and we might not be having dinner till 8 o'clock in the summer. So now it's time to get those bodies, everything back on track And it doesn't happen overnight, especially for little kids. So we're easing into it. And it was, if they've been going to bed at like 9:30, you don't go, okay, 7:30. Yeah, that doesn't happen. It's 15 to 30 minutes at a time each week. And then also is adjusting the wake up times because the kids were sleeping into like 9:30. Kid 1 is like getting up at 11. So now it's like, easing it back. Okay, 10 o'clock, everyone's got their butt out of bed. 9:30, 9, 8:30. Because getting them up at 7 or 6:30 is not going to happen like a light switch without like repercussions. There will be consequences for waking up them. If you feel like, if you're fine with referring to your children as little then fine. You can roll the dice and just go from like, okay, you guys been getting up at 10, now you're going to get up at 6:30 because you know what? They're going to act like little
not the first day though.
Yeah, if you want them well behaved, roll it back slowly, incrementally. And then they'll be in a much better mood in the morning, and it'll make everyone's life better because you got to get out the door to work too.
But seriously, the first day of school, they will not be nightmares. But the second day of school is the worst if you do not have their sleep schedule figured out beforehand.
Set them up for success. Set yourself up for success. You don't want to go to work after like grumbling at your kids all morning.
Nope.
Jessica, number 6. We've referenced this one before in so many podcast episodes, but it's worth mentioning again.
Teach them how to pack their own lunches. Take that little job right off your plate and give it to them on their teeny tiny empty plates.
If it helps, make a checklist.
Yep.
You need a sandwich. A sandwich is made up of this, this, and this. You need a bag of chips or whatever for your lunch.
Bag of carrots.
One for morning snack. Yeah, a bag of carrots or an apple or some sort of fruit. There you go. Otherwise, and spot check too, because don't just trust your kid's going to do it perfectly every time.
We were not spot checking at first, and kid number 2 decided to put like 3 oatmeal cookies in his bag and a juice box and one piece of lunch meat. And you just happened to be walking by and saw him zipping up, and you're like, "Oh, what do you got in there?" And you opened it, and you were like, "What the is this?"
Kid one got caught early on when we did a spot check, and she had a juice box, 3 bags of chips, a cheese stick, a piece of leftover cheese pizza, and that was like it. I'm like, no.
Yeah, so you pack your lunches, and then we'll be in to check it every single night. Yeah, but this is your job now.
And then once you kind of establish that you're checking, you can spread out how often you're checking, especially if they've mastered it, and do sporadic spot checks. But it's so much easier if you're not sitting there packing their lunches every night. And then the whining goes way down because they're the ones that packed it. So if they don't like it,
it's tough. Their fault. Yeah, so that's my favorite one on this whole list.
Yes, it is. And you know what? When you go like, well, my kid's in elementary school, I can't do it.
Yeah, huh? We've been doing it since kindergarten.
They start in kindergarten with it. Now, they might need a little step stool to get stuff out of the fridge.
You have to pre-cut the things for them. Like our kids really like cucumbers. I have no problem standing at the counter and slicing up cucumbers for 4 kids. That's totally fine.
I don't mind like taking out the mandolin and just doing rapid fire slices. I'll even do the wrinkle cut for them too. I'm afraid of
slicing my fingers off with
it. Yeah, but I'll do it and then just put them in a big bowl and let the kids divvy them up.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't want to be standing there all night making teeny tiny bags full of things times 4 and throwing them in lunch boxes and then figuring out how to put all those lunch boxes in the refrigerator overnight. No, you can do that. Also, it teaches you how to meal prep.
And you don't have to do a million questions. Well, do you want turkey? Do you want roast beef? Do you want ham?
You can open the drawer and find your own meat.
What do you want in your sandwich?
Yep.
What kind of bread do you want? Do you want the soft bread or the crunchier one? The whole wheat?
You want a tortilla?
Yeah. Do you want a tortilla roll-up?
Yep.
And then as they're wandering away, like, I just want to play video games. I just, whatever.
Good.
I want to
Make
go
your
jump
lunch
on the
and then go do that.
Yeah.
We don't have a trampoline.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, that's tiny. That doesn't count.
It's not in the yard. You got a little one in the basement. Anyway, teach them how to pack their lunches so that you don't have to. Jessica, number 7. What is tip number 7?
Planners, calendars, color code your schedules. This is the best one because
No. Teach them to pack their own lunch was the best one.
Okay, this is the second best one because all of the stationery stuff is in the stores right now. So you have a gazillion types of pens and markers and Sharpies and whatever else to choose from. And you get to buy a new planner and then you get to set it up all perfectly and make it gorgeous.
Nerd alert!
Yeah. It's fine. I don't care.
It's all right.
I have all the pretty pins now.
So
and a brand new shiny planner.
We have the family calendar that hangs kind of the nexus of the house, and everything in there, for the most part, is color-coded. The stuff that's even pre-printed, like people's birthdays, we've got different color highlighters that mean different things. The color pen, like, we got 2 different school systems. So one school system is written in red, the other one's written in blue. Girl Scouts is in green, the official color of Thin Mints. Hockey is in brown, and it's just eye-catching, easy to go. You know, it's not like we're doing various shades of pink, orange, and reds. You know, it's quick, eye-catching. In addition, the opposite of the family calendar that has a month at a time, we have just the week. It's what we're eating for dinner, who's doing what each day. It's color-coded, and it makes it easy as we're running out the door, looking at like what the hell's going on today, what time, who's got to be where, and it helps coordinate all that stuff so it isn't a complete show with kids getting left at school or somebody missing their main event.
Left at school, Jesus.
It happens before you got left at school, right? Growing up?
No.
And completely forgotten?
No. Did you?
Yeah. I was one of 4 kids, and my parents didn't have this kind of organization down.
No, I never got left at school. Never, ever, ever. Not once.
Your mom wasn't late picking you up?
The one year my mom had to pick me up was preschool, third grade too. And no, she was not.
Didn't you get stuck there during a snowstorm?
That's not the same thing. My mother was on the phone with me the entire time. She was calling people around town.
That was so far long ago. Did you have one of those cell phones that had the giant purse bag?
No, she called the school because the office people were also stuck. Everybody was stuck there. Nobody could get out. It was terrible. My friends,
I remember the storm because I had to dig out my beast of a car so I could drive home.
I didn't have a way to dig my car out. After that, we kept shoveling my car. But there wasn't one. And so what wound up happening, because my mom got stuck in our driveway trying to come and get me because the buses weren't running. And she had to stay home. My brother's bus was able to go, but the high school bus was not. So she was able to get my brother. But then she was like, well, you took your car. Just go get in your car and drive home really, really slow. And I was like, Mom, I can't. It's covered. It is completely buried in the snow. And she was like, okay, I'm going to come and get you. And then she got stuck in the driveway. And so she wound up calling our family friends, and they had this giant beast of a car, and they lived over by where the high school is. And so she came plowing down that street, and she picked me up, and then I was stuck at their house for about 4 hours until my dad got off work and could come and get me to then take me home. It was very, very not fun.
Okay, but the key here is take an afternoon or an evening, sit down with everybody's calendar, and most of the school districts have their annual calendars up. Some are more organized than others. I know we've got between the 2 that our kids are enrolled in, one district has the entire year's schedule already mapped out for everybody with all the holidays and days off and half days and conferences and school pictures ready to go. And the other school district has jack up, and they're the one that starts sooner. But we're not throwing any names under the bus. Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, but still, for what they have available and what you know, and youth activities and mom and dad stuff and Girl Scouts and everything, put it on the calendar so you can start mapping it out. And when things start coming up and people ask, hey, how about this date? You can go, oh, hell no.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jessica, let's get into one of my favorites on the list. Number 8 on our top 10 list of tips.
Leave time for mom and dad.
And what do we mean by leave time for mom and dad?
Run away. Run away from the children. Goodbye, children.
Look,
have fun fending for yourself.
Leave time for mom and dad.
Don't really do that.
Even if you're super organized, even if you've consolidated your lists and everything, even if you've inventoried what you have so you can cut down the expenses, it's still a stressful time. You got to go into these stores with all these other stressed out people. You got to run around. You got to look at the tally on the cash register as you're checking out, going, oh my God, it takes a minute to go. You're shooting eyeballs. I'm going to edit that out or bleep it. Don't worry.
No, it's more of how much it actually costs to go back to school shopping.
I know. So leave time. In our case, we did some back to school shopping, and then we did a big trip without the kids. Kid 1 babysat, and we went and hit Myers, and then we went to the local brewery and had a late lunch together and drinks.
Yeah. We did.
And then on the way back, we
great.
stopped by this new joint down in Sawyer, Michigan called Local Pour, not a sponsor.
That was great too.
But they don't produce their own stuff. They have things from the local wineries, distilleries, and breweries, and you can do tasting flights and everything. So you and I sat, caught our breath, like, oh my God, we survived back to school shopping, but also let's just take a moment with us before the craziness starts and the hauling kids in every direction, and we wave at each other like, you come in and take 2 kids that had finished skating from the rink while you wave at me on the ice coaching, and in the evenings and all the insanity. It's just like have some adult beverages, sipping it, enjoying each other's company, and reminding ourselves that we have these short people because
we like each other.
We like each other a lot. And we like spending time together, and we're about to not spend a lot of time together because of the short
it'll be
people.
waving. Hello,
Yes.
nice to see you for 2 seconds. Goodbye.
So it's very important because that if you can cut down on the stress in your relationship, it carries over and it keeps the rest of the family calm. Build in that special time for the two of you when you survive back to school shopping.
But just real quick, because I really, really loved local pour. I thought it was neat. If you go there, have the fire and ice on the cocktail menu. It is great. It's got chipotle vodka, pineapple juice, and simple syrup and lime in it, and it tastes amazing because it starts out sweet, and then you get hit with all that heat, and it is
How
wonderful.
much heat, though? Is it going to, like, burn your mouth?
No. It's like a real quick little...
Sweet heat?
Yeah.
Like a Mike and Ike?
No.
Not that hot?
I mean, it's chipotle, so it's there.
It's a slow, smoky burn?
Mm-hmm, and then it goes away.
Okay.
After each sip, like, you'll have the sweet, and it's a little bit hot, and then it's gone. And you're like, yeah, I want some more of that. So
just enough heat to make you want to go back for another sip.
Yeah. It's
Nice.
really good. Okay, sorry.
No, it's fine. Probably not a bad idea for some of the teachers to go after that first week, too, for happy hour.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and especially the ones who have to, they have to do the prep work for their own kids and their classroom.
Yep.
And survive all the, the first day jitters and everything, and all the people who don't have their together.
Mm-hmm. But the teachers have to pack up their classrooms at the end of each year because they could be shuffling rooms. They all have to be deep
shuffling
cleaned.
grades.
Sometimes they get their carpet replaced or their room painted again. So everything has to come down. And then at the beginning of the year, they have to redo everything. And it's so time consuming and it's so stressful.
Prep their own actual biological children or adopted.
Exactly.
But their kids.
Their own kids.
Not just their students.
Right. So they deserve a break too.
And I'm sure their spouses do too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God! Imagine if it's a double teacher relationship.
No.
Oh my God! They just need to go out and have all the drinks.
All the drinks.
All the drinks. Imagine if they had 5 kids and both teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all the drinks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're making our way through this. Our top 10 tips for back to school success. Jessica, number 9 is a key one for you.
It is.
In fact, you put it on the list.
I did. It is charge your phone and or camera batteries because it is time for those first day of school photos and you do not want to be caught with a dead battery on either your phone or your camera because you won't be able to capture those memories, and those shoes are coming back home dirty after that first day and their hair is going to be sticking out the side. Actually, that sounds like a fun picture too. But you're going to want a way to capture those memories in the morning.
Whether you have your together or not. Make it look like you do by having those first day of school photos.
Yep.
You don't want to be the parent like, oh crap, I forgot. I didn't take any photos. Here's the 5th day of school photos.
5th day. That's funny.
Or the 2nd day of school photos. I completely forgot. And every year there's somebody who puts it up and it's kind of funny. But you want to be one of those parents that have your together. You've got those memories. It's only going to happen. First day of school only happens once.
I don't care if I don't have my together, but I'm going to have those first day of schools because I really like looking at the progression.
Yes.
Through the years. We do ours in front of our red door on the front of our house.
Unless it's raining and then it's on the inside of the front door.
Right. But I like seeing how tall they are in relation to the bar that goes in front of the screen door.
Yeah.
And that is
and the handle.
fun.
I also like taking one where they do shoe model poses and we zoom in on the back to school kicks because come on, it's the shoes.
Kid number 4 have slippers or something on last year.
Yeah, something like that. Because she was staying at home, she was still in her PJs.
Yeah.
And then there's one where she's just sad. It was it wasn't acting. She was really sad that her 3 buddies
left and she was heartbroken.
Yeah, but this year she goes a week before they do.
She's really excited.
Yeah,
it's so cute. Mm-hmm. All right. What's the last tip?
Our final tip for back to school success is don't procrastinate.
Nope.
Get on it. Stuff sells out while they still stock up on everything. Or if your kid wants, well, all the folders that are left are ugly. Well, yeah. You wait till the weekend before school starts. One, you're going to feel the extra pressure from time. Makes it worse the fact that the supplies at the store have dwindled. The selection at the store has dwindled. It just, everything compounds. Get it knocked out.
Yeah.
Early.
Our schools don't do this, but a lot of schools will color code folders for different classes. So like all of the math classes have to have a red folder. And it always happens. We don't have a Target in our area. They closed it. Anymore. So we have to go to Indiana to go to Target. And almost always I wind up going to Target like the weekend before school starts. Not for school supplies, but for like other things. And I will wander back there just to see, and it's completely wiped out. And there's always like 10 families where the kids are screaming because that red folder for math is not available. And they know they're going to get like crap for it at school.
Or even when our kids were in lower elementary, they needed 2 folders, green and red.
Yeah.
Green went home and red stayed at school. It's like stop and go.
Yeah.
Well, and it never failed. We, especially when we were procrastinate, all the red ones are sold out, or all the green ones are sold out, or they were like different kinds, or one was flimsy and crap, and the other one was good. Just knock it out. And especially like with kid 1 now, she wants the pretty cute folders because it's middle school. It's a thing. It's a folder fashion show.
It is.
So. But the selection, if you wait longer and longer, sucks more and more and more.
No, you have to get the kitten in the basket if you wait.
We are right on the Indiana border. Indiana went back early August. We don't go back. Actually, the kids and some of the teachers are pissed off because usually Michigan, the public schools don't go back until after Labor Day. This year, Labor Day is late and it's on a Wednesday. So they're actually going back on the 30th for our older kids.
Yeah.
But still, it makes a difference
also,
because people are bouncing back and forth across the border to do their shopping.
Teachers will request specific types of items. So I know on a lot of the lower elementary lists, they ask for the Crayola crayons in a certain number. And they do that because one, Crayola has more vibrant colors than any of the other companies.
Although it drives me nuts when they always ask for the 8 washable markers, but all you can find are the 10 packs.
So yeah, that no, but if you wait until the very last minute, the odds of being able to find those exact items that the teachers want for specific reasons are very, very slim. So do it early. They have sales that happen earlier. Hit those sales early in the summer so that you can just be done and enjoy the last couple days of summer and you're not frantically at the store screaming about folder colors and
hey, let's go
crayons.
Off on a tangent on crazy items real quick, please.
Okay.
Because you remember a couple of years ago, I think it was Spanish. The teacher put in.
My God.
So like it's normal that your classroom grade level teacher puts in requests. Then like for maybe gym or the special resource
kid
teachers.
Number 2 had washi tape this year.
Yeah, they have items they need, or they need extra Kleenex, or label this extra glue bottle art room. Cool, that's fine. We had, and we used to get stuff for the Spanish teacher. We had turnover, though, in the school system the kids used to be in Spanish. And so the one teacher put all sorts of weird items on there. Just
pom-poms and googly eyes.
Googly eyes. So then they switched teachers midsummer. And then before the lists were published, the new teacher coming in was young. And she didn't want to rock the boat. And she's like, well, there must be something I don't know why we need this, but I don't know what the it's for. And so she left it on there, and every teacher, and she wanted envelopes, manila envelopes in a very odd size. It was not something you could get in the standard just business aisle. You had to go to special
We had
resource.
to Amazon that.
Yeah. And she's got everyone just pulling their hair out, like, where the do we find, 40 bazillion googly eyes and pom-poms? She's like, I don't even know what the hell I'm going to do with this. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, are these envelopes? So we had a special order.
Mm-hmm. We wound up.
Yeah. So, even when you get organized and even if you use the rule of 2 stores and then Amazon, you got to cross your fingers and pray that like, hey, if the teacher put a weird item on here, they got a use for it and a reason for it. And usually they will. It's just occasionally we did run in an instance where the teacher's like, I don't even know what this crap's for. It's
that got out and the parents were pissed.
Livid.
And we found out that the teacher did not have a use for them. And so I went to the resource teacher and I was like, do you want some pom-poms and some googly eyes? And she was like, yep, I can use those.
I would say
I can do all kinds of stuff with that.
To young teachers who move into a role like that and that item is on the list and they didn't, remove it, and you don't know what the it's for, invent something and figure it out, because the parents are going to go nuts, and all of a sudden you're going to get a bad reputation.
Nope.
So
Or
come up with a use for it, or come up with a donation to a resource teacher.
Yeah.
But make sure it's getting used, because parents are spending a ton of money on back to school.
Yep.
Don't waste their funds.
Or, get the class list from the principal for those email addresses. Send out an apology and say, please, please, please do not buy these things. They were put there by the previous teacher. I have no use for them. Please do not bring them. That would have been so appreciated.
So many things.
In that situation.
Yeah.
But there's always that one weird item. Always.
There is. And like I said, for the washi tape, I'm sure they've got a use for it.
Which washi tape is actually not that weird.
Yeah. But this all kind of comes back to number 8. Leave time for mom and dad and adult cocktails.
Yes. After you spend $57 on envelopes and googly eyes.
Go out to lunch, go out to dinner, numb the pain a little bit, whatever. You got a buttload of kids. So there you go. All right. Well, that is our top 10 list for back to school success. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but that's okay.
Yep.
We got a bunch of other ones coming up. We brainstormed some more. We have, of course, our wall of things. We had things outlined, but we came up with more topics while we were sitting out doing our back to school shopping and things we want to talk about. And of course, we have our adventure weekend that we're going to be talking about in an upcoming episode. But for now, this has been another episode of the Red Arrow Health and Wellness Podcast. We drop episodes almost every week. We took last week off.
Yep.
But the new episodes come out on Monday, bright and early Monday morning. This was episode 77. Go back and check out the other 76. But for now, Jessica, it's been fun.
It was fun.
Bye.
Bye.